Welcome to LinguaWire English B1. Today, we have two stories. The US says it has agreed to stand down after new strikes with Iran, and Naomi Osaka brings a white kimono to Wimbledon. To help you follow today's episode, full transcripts and vocabulary lookups are available at LinguaWire.com. Our first story is about the United States, Iran, and the tense waters near the Strait of Hormuz. Adam is here, our LinguaWire security correspondent. Adam, what is the latest?
Media reports citing a US official say the US and Iran have agreed to stand down after an exchange of strikes over the past few days. In simple terms, both sides are expected to stop immediate military action for now.
So this is not a full peace deal. It is more like a step back from a dangerous moment.
That's right. It is a pause and an attempt to reduce the risk. The situation became tense again after several attacks in and around the Strait of Hormuz. Both countries have accused each other of breaking the ceasefire agreement.
Why is the Strait of Hormuz so important here?
It is a key waterway in the Gulf, and many commercial vessels pass through it. The US official told CBS News that vessels would be able to move through the Gulf waterway freely. That matters because problems there can affect shipping, energy markets, and global trade.
What happened before this new stand-down message?
The ceasefire was already under pressure. Strikes resumed on Thursday after an Iranian projectile hit a cargo ship in the Strait of Hormuz. After that, there were more strikes, and each side blamed the other for violating the agreement.
There is also talk about meetings in Doha. What do we know, and what is still unclear?
US President Donald Trump said Iran had requested a meeting and that it would take place in Doha, the capital of Qatar. He wrote that on Truth Social, but did not give details. Later, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said US Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner would fly to Doha for high-level meetings this week.
But Iran has not described the talks in the same way, correct?
Correct. On Monday, Deputy Iranian Foreign Minister Kazem Garibabadi denied that there were plans for technical talks this week. So the public messages from the two sides are different, and that makes the next step harder to understand.
What agreement is in the background of all this?
On 17th of June, the US and Iran signed a 14-point memorandum of understanding. That document included what it called an immediate and permanent termination of military operations on all fronts. It also said Iran would use its best efforts to allow the safe passage of commercial vessels with no charge for 60 days.
That sounds strong on paper. Why is the ceasefire still so fragile?
Because an agreement does not remove mistrust by itself. If one side sees an attack as a violation, it may respond with another strike. Then the other side may say it was defending itself. In that kind of situation, a ceasefire can weaken very quickly.
What should listeners watch for next?
Two things are important. First, whether shipping through the Gulf waterway really stays calm. Second, whether meetings in Doha actually happen as described. If talks continue, there may be a path toward a longer deal. If strikes return, the ceasefire could face another serious test.
So the main tension is simple but serious. Both sides say they want calm, but each side also says the other broke the rules.
Yes, and that is the heart of the story. It shows how difficult it can be to move from a ceasefire to a stable agreement, especially when military action, trade routes, and political pressure are all connected.
Our second story moves from global security to sport and culture. Sarah is here, our LinguaWire sports and culture correspondent. Sarah, Naomi Osaka, won her opening match at Wimbledon. But people are also talking about what she wore. What happened?
Naomi Osaka arrived for her opening match in a full-length white kimono. She then beat the French player Elsa Jacquemot 6-1, 7-5. The outfit drew attention because Wimbledon has a strict all-white dress code, and Osaka found a way to follow the rule while paying tribute to Japan.
A kimono at Wimbledon is a powerful image. Why did she choose it?
Osaka said that when she thinks about Wimbledon, she thinks about the all-white tradition. She also said she thinks about her cultures and her heritage, which are Japanese and Haitian. When she looked more deeply at Japanese culture, she thought of the kimono as an iconic shape.
That is important, because the kimono was white, not bright or colorful.
Exactly. Osaka said, "You do not need to see the color of a kimono to know that it is a kimono." So even inside Wimbledon's all-white rule, the clothing still had a clear cultural meaning.
How does this fit with Osaka's recent tennis outfits?
She is known for memorable outfits on court. At the French Open, she wore a glittering gold tennis dress that was compared to the Eiffel Tower at night. At the Australian Open in January, she wore an outfit inspired by a jellyfish.
Wimbledon is different, though. Why is the dress code a challenge?
Wimbledon's all-white dress code is one of the tournament's strongest traditions. It limits how much players can use colour. For someone like Osaka, who often uses fashion to express identity, the challenge is to be creative without breaking the rules.
She also mentioned a film inspiration, didn't she?
She did. Osaka said she loves Kill Bill and remembered falling in love with Lucy Liu's character. That character wears an all-white kimono. Osaka said her Wimbledon look became her own interpretation of that, while also paying respect and love to Japan.
What does this tell us about sport today?
It shows that athletes are not only seen through their results, they also use clothing, interviews, and public moments to tell stories about identity. In Osaka's case, the match result and the cultural message arrived together.
And the result mattered too. How did she play?
She won in straight sets 6-1, 7-5, so she did not lose a set. Osaka's best Wimbledon performances before this were third-round appearances in 2017 and 2025, so she is trying to build another strong run at the tournament.
Is there a tension between tradition and personal expression here?
Yes, but it is a gentle and interesting tension. Wimbledon protects its old tradition with the all-white rule. Osaka worked inside that rule, but still made the outfit personal. She did not reject the tradition. She used it as part of the design.
So it was not a fight with the rules. It was a creative answer to them.
Exactly. Her kimono was not only a fashion choice, it was a public message about heritage, respect, and how athletes can bring more than performance onto the court.
Now let's look at some useful language from today's episode. First, our themed vocabulary comes from the Osaka story, and the theme is culture and identity. The first word is heritage. Heritage means the culture, history, or traditions that come from your family or community. In the story, Osaka spoke about her Japanese and Haitian heritage. Example, she is proud of her heritage and often talks about her family's history. The second phrase is pay tribute to. To pay tribute to someone or something means to show respect, love, or admiration. In the story, Osaka's white kimono paid tribute to Japan. Example: the team wore black shirts to pay tribute to their former coach. The third phrase is personal expression. Personal expression means showing who you are, what you feel, or what matters to you. In the story, Osaka used fashion as a form of personal expression. Example: for many young people, music is an important form of personal expression. For part 2, let's look at the phrase stand down. Stand down means to stop taking action, especially in a tense or dangerous situation. It is common in news about the military, police, or political conflict. In today's story, the US and Iran agreed to stand down after an exchange of strikes. This did not mean a full peace deal. It meant stepping back from immediate action. You can also use it in a workplace or public situation when someone stops an official action. Example: the security team stood down after the alarm was checked. Another example: the company agreed to stand down while talks continued. That's today's news. Every word you just heard is written out at LinguaWire.com. The full transcript and a tap-to-check glossary for words you don't yet know. That's LinguaWire.com. Follow the show so we're there in your feed tomorrow. Speak to you then.